What's going on? This is Richie Concertesi with our Seven Figure Commission show, and we have Mr. Bruce Downing, someone I have a lot of respect for, someone who's in sales, who's building his insurance agency. And I always have so much respect for everybody that's on the show because they're willing and able and ready to take on improvements within their business and obviously also exposure. So I'm really excited to have you here, Bruce. I know you want to move forward, you want to get better. And for all of you that are listening, and also want to improve, my goal is that you also leave from this call with nuggets that you can use to improve your business, your sales, your agency. So, Bruce, thanks so much for being on the show.
Yeah, Richie. Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have any questions throughout our time together, make sure to pop them in the chat. Let me know that you're here. I can see the chat here during the conversation. If you have questions, I will throw them up on the screen for Bruce. But Bruce, let's talk about you, man. Tell me quick. What is one thing that's going really well in your business right now?
Going really well. Most of what I'm doing since I'm only a couple months in here with the company is a lot of training.
Good.
So spent a lot of time online and in-person training, learning a lot. But I'd say for my business side of things, just starting to make those connections with past business contacts, letting everybody know that I have this opportunity to help them now.
Got it. And so who is your target market? Who are
Yeah,
you targeting?
that's a good question. I mean, I've kind of been back and forth with just individuals or businesses, and a lot of my prior work career was calling on businesses and working with businesses, business to business. So I think my best opportunity is going to be with businesses because it gives me two potential opportunities, one with the owner, and then also we can help the employees as well.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I love that, man. And so let's walk through some of your process. So walk me through real quick from start to finish, and let's just focus on the business owner since that's really the focus. Walk me through from start to finish real quick what your process will be from sending emails, phone calls, all the way to moving them through the pipeline and moving them forward with you.
Right, exactly. Some emails to maybe catch their attention and hopefully have that initial conversation. Goal of
Okay.
my initial conversation is to set up about a 15 to 30 minute, whether it's in person or Zoom. I prefer being in person myself, but
Okay.
and that's called our kind of like discovery, right? We're going to
Yeah.
do the fact finding, the initial fact finding.
Yeah.
Then after that, I have enough data, like a snapshot of where they are. But the biggest part of that is finding out where they want to go from where they
Yeah.
are.
Okay.
So then the next phase would be for me to come back and talk to some of the other experts in the office. We do like a team approach, get some ideas and feedback from them. And then the next step is going back to the client with some ideas, some solutions. Then, of course, depending on if something really hits them and they want to move, then we can get things started right away. Or there might be one more round to kind of pick out one or two, or depending on what things they want to focus on. Sometimes it's life insurance, sometimes it's retirement savings. If there's a couple things that are high on their priority list, sometimes they want to do one at a time.
Okay. So I love it. So here's what I see. Uh, Reach your outreach to connections to a discovery call. Okay. We're gonna look at show. What was your show
Right.
rate? Then you have your office visit, then your office show rate, your
Yeah.
presentation show rate, and then close.
Wow.
Does that does that
Yeah.
sound about right?
Yeah, right, right. Yeah. Now I think about all those pieces, correct. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, because really, all of those pieces tell us the story, right? Of
Correct.
when you're doing 5 6 discovery calls a day, and you have office visits and you have presentations and you have all these different things going on, we've got to know at all times, where are we at, what's the show rate for all of these things, because all every single one of those tell us the story. So I know your volume as you're fresh and you're going might not be exactly where you want it to be, and that's totally
Right.
cool. But let's just start at in the past month, how many total outreach? So calls and emails included. How many total did you have?
Yeah, for the past month, I was right around 50. I know it was a little over, maybe 52. As far as actual contacts from
Yeah.
the outreach, we're at I should have that. Should I have that number ready for you?
Yeah.
Let's see, eight. That was about 15. 15. Not about. It was 15. 16. I'm sorry, 16. And
How
then
many of those
actual
made it to discovery?
made it to the appointment were
Or
four,
excuse me,
five.
you booked the how many of those did you book a discovery with?
Book, right, exactly. That was uh, five.
Okay. And then how many of those showed?
Four.
Got it. Okay. And then how many of those turned into an off? How many of those did you schedule an office visit from?
Let's see. Of those four, all four, we
Nice.
came back to and to retalk or go deeper, right?
Okay. And then how many of those didn't cancel? So we'll still consider
Yeah.
that a show. Did you have all
Uh,
four?
three, three,
Got it.
three out of the
Okay.
four.
Okay. And then how many of those three made it to a presentation?
All three.
Okay, good.
Lucky for
So
me. And of course, don't forget many of
don't
these
say
early
lucky
ones are
for
my
you, Bruce.
it's
What'd
the
you say?
warm market, right? So I have a little leverage on like, hey, you're gonna see me. Yeah.
Right, right. Okay. All right, good. And then how many of those three closed?
Let's see. Two are in process. The third one we'll see yet. It's still kind of hanging out there.
Okay. So
Two
so two.
applications and one is partial application, but she's not finishing it out. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you look at your presentation, right? Your presentation to close is 66%. Your connection to close is what? 13%.
Hmm.
Okay. Connections to discovery. Now, let me ask you a question. Is this cold, this audience, or are these people you already know, have relationships with?
Yeah, most that's what I was saying. It's mostly warm. These are people that I may have not had contact for a while, especially the business people. But there's it's not like these are cold leads that I'm reaching out to. There's
Right.
past connection, or it's someone closer to me.
Okay. Well, the thing that stands out to me the most when we look through this is volume, right? And I know you're
Right.
working on getting that
Right.
up
Yes.
because we got to be able to do 50 a day, right?
Yeah.
So we look at 50. Okay. Connections 15. That's not bad. I know
Right.
these people are warm, but that's not bad. The big thing that stands out to me is your booked percentage. Um, and so I think it might be a good use of our time to talk about that a little bit. Like when you do get someone on the phone as a connect, what's your process to try and book that discovery call? Because you booked five and
Right.
four showed pretty good.
Right.
80% is where you want to be. So
Right.
that's good. And your numbers from there are all really good. They're all really good. So let's talk about your booking that discovery. Walk me through that. How are you currently going about asking for the meeting? What is that? Walk me through that.
One, I want to tell them that, look, I want to show or tell them about how we process. Well, first, I will give them the value proposition of, what I can do for them.
Okay.
And then after that, I want to then say, hey, look, I want to basically do two things here, kind of show you how we do things here, and then what we can do for you. So, but that's just give me a couple minutes to show you what how we do it and what we do, what we can do, because there's a pretty big bucket I have to bring.
Okay. But and this is that well, so I'm referring to the initial call
Mhm.
Okay, so what you're saying, so when you're trying to book this discovery call, right?
Right, right.
What's your pitch to book that discovery call?
Again, just kind of tell them value proposition. Hey, look, as far as anything from investing to retirement planning, estate planning, that's those are the things that I can help you with. And from there, if something they kind of, well, I've really been thinking about retirement, great. Then what I'm going to do then is help you. I'm going to show you how we, kind of go about the process for you. And what our goal would be is to come up with some ideas for you to improve what you're already doing or add to what you're already doing.
Okay. Is it going to save them time and money?
Yeah, and that's a good point. Yeah, I try to, I guess, somewhat find out if there is a little bit of a hot button they reveal, and then talk about, yeah, we want to, give you more money in retirement or give you guaranteed income in retirement. Again, maybe based upon what they might say in response to, oh, you can do that, great. Want to try to zero in on what they pick out. I don't want to come at them with a whole list of things, but just kind of in general, the big topics: retirement planning, estate planning, and possible investing.
Okay. Now, how do you go about asking for the meeting? So you share with them a little bit about, what obviously when you're connecting with them, these are warmer. So you're
Yeah,
asking them a couple questions and then sharing with them briefly what you could do. How do you
right.
go about pitching the meeting itself?
Well, and say, what I'd like to do is, jump either on a Zoom with you or meet with you, depending on where they are and who they are. It's up to you. Give them that choice. And then, give me about 15 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes roughly. And then I can just kind of walk you through. And then after we go through that, if there's anything you want me to go back and do, put some work in to get you some more information. That's kind of what this is, a discovery and a snapshot of where you are and finding out where you want to go from there.
Okay, good. How do you feel like that? If you're someone on the other side of that, how do you feel like that would excite you?
Yeah, again, it's yeah, that's a good question. I mean, uh, trying to find something that is a hot button for them, and then say, hey, we can go ahead and dive deeper into that and come back to you with some good potential ideas for either getting that accomplished or improving what you've already done.
Right. Okay. And so how do you feel like you may be able to adjust your currently how you're going about it to really hit that hot button?
Um, you know, Maybe ask a few more questions to see if they come up with anything. But I guess I'm just really the initial. I just want to see if I can spend a few minutes before I try to throw any and everything that they might be thinking of or might be able to. So I just want to try to say, hey, look, give me a couple minutes, kind of show you what I can do, how I do it for you, and then from there, if there's some things we need to work on for you, we will.
Okay. Have you ever tried just combining the initial phone call and just making it a discovery call instead of
Um,
trying to book a
hmm,
discovery call?
I no, not really, honestly, no, because that's
Okay.
our process is that I'm just trying to follow the process here initially and do as they say. So, but yeah, that's a thought. I mean, if someone has the time, because a lot of times if I'm catching them, hey, I got to jump off, hey, real quick, let me set this up with you and let you go.
Okay. Yeah, when the 15 that you talked to, were they quick to get off the phone or were they
No, I think for the most part, I didn't have that much resistance. Today wasn't a good day. I mean, I had somebody hang up while I was talking, and it was somebody I had talked to in the past. But hey, so be it.
right? That's totally part of the game.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking in terms of efficiency. I'm not saying that you
Right,
necessarily need to not test it.
right,
But if you have someone and they're willing to have a conversation,
right.
um, you know, I think the big thing I think about Bruce, is what's the hook? So if you call me, um, and I've heard the best people, they have such a good opening hook, and it's typically about saving you time or saving you money, right?
Right,
And so I think that's where you would fall in. And I'm just
right.
thinking, you know, if you want to go the route of setting meeting two, how can you open with a strong enough hook where they're like, oh my God, I got to listen to Bruce and I've got to book this meeting with him? What
Yeah,
are your
it's a
thoughts
good
on that?
point. Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, the thing is for people, money. I mean, this we're all about, really the money side. It's not so much time, or it's a matter of they're short on time to, make it to retirement with what they wanted to be in retirement, right? So
Yeah.
I guess there is some aspect of time of it, but I think it's really, the thing I think is the financial pain. People just with everything going on right now, things are more expensive, and it helps put off things. And unfortunately, many people have put off saving for retirement, and then it's a short time window to get something going so that they have enough
Yeah.
money that they're going to live on.
Yeah. So man, I just had a conversation with the Weavers too, and it was so good. And their opening was, and I think this is so powerful. If you want, I can quick share it with you because
Yeah.
it's that initial hook, and it was like, hey, I just got off the phone with a client that we were able to save 900. I think what he said. I just got off the phone with a client that we were able to save $968, and I'd love to share with you quick how we did it. And then just going right into it. So there's like this initial hook, you know, that's catchy. That's like in the back of their mind, they're thinking, wow, this is something that I want to know how exactly this was done. Um,
Right.
and then from there, you gotta have your conversation. But do you have like a hook like that or an opening like that that you feel like you can use to really grab their attention and be excited about the potential of even booking with you?
No, I mean that sounds like I should develop one because you're right. I mean, something that definitely gets their interest. So you're right; they're ready to book. They're asking me before I even ask them. Yeah, that's it's see, we don't so much save you money. We help build your wealth, right? So
Yeah.
that's the way I look at it, right? Hey, some people have put into retirement savings and they're not sure what to do. But you know what? One of the things maybe I should hit upon is taxes, because it's important to make money, but it's important to make or keep as much of that as possible, right?
For
So
sure.
it's whether earnings now or in the future, because Uncle Sam keeps changing the laws here and the rules, so they can get more down the road. You know what I mean? So yeah, maybe the tax thing is my hook. Now that you say
Okay.
that,
How do you feel like a good way to word that would be? Hey,
yeah,
I
that's a
just
good
got
question.
off
I'm
the
just gonna,
phone. Like I love that start. Hey, I just
yeah,
got off the phone with a previous client that
right,
I what
yeah,
would
just got off the phone with a previous client, and I was able to uh, reduce their taxes in retirement, so that they'll have more income to spend on their grandchildren. I mean, or I don't know. I'm just trying to quickly
yeah.
throw, but I mean something that from that pain of having to deal with taxes to like something good, like having more money to spend on the family or enjoy
Yeah.
yourselves or travel or yeah, that kind of stuff.
In a scenario, like an average scenario that you may have, how much more money would they have?
That's a tough one because it's not like everybody's situation's different. It's
But just
can
on
be
an
so.
situation.
Again, that's a tough one to quantify because somebody might have a ton of money sitting in cash, and then they can convert that into a stream of income for the rest of their life, guaranteed income. The value of that could be enormous versus they're not sure what to do with the money now. They're not getting any return like from a bank. Where do I put it? I don't want it in the market because I don't want to take a loss, but I need this to live on. So
Is it fair to
um,
say that you could say, I obviously you want to use a real scenario, but that I was able
Yeah.
to help a client retire with an additional couple $100,000.
Yeah, that's very real. That's very real because depending on where they have, the money, maybe it's more I should focus more on the income versus the value, right? Because
Right.
people I think are thinking I'm living a long time and I got all these expenses. I just need to have enough money. What I mean? We can get you guaranteed income,
Right. So what do
help
you think
cover the
an opening of like, it's got to be authentic to you, but
yeah.
hey Bruce, I just got off the phone with a previous client that were able to they're able to have a couple $100,000 after their retirement. I'd love to have I'd love
Yeah,
to
right.
share with you how we
Sure,
did that.
right. How we did that. Yeah, no, that's an excellent. I do like that. Yeah,
Because then
hmm,
your conversation goes right into, cool, what are you doing today? Are you working? Tell me about what
yeah,
you're like, because
right,
these are people that are somewhat warm, so you can
right,
immediately then go into your conversation and
yeah,
find their pain, their hot button.
right. True.
Because now
Yeah,
they're interested in you, like how you're going to help them.
right, right. Yeah, now we have a little mystery, intrigue. Solve it for me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
how do you feel about that?
yeah, that's an awesome opener there. I do like that, and I am going to steal it.
Okay, it's not mine, but I think we got to make it your own, right? Like in
Right, right,
your
exactly.
experience,
One that works.
um,
Yeah,
where when they answer the phone, boom, you got this tight hook, boom,
yeah,
right into your discovery, boom, find their hot button, and all those things like
yeah.
you're doing, and we can build upon them. But for the sake of this session and determining what your next play would be, how do you feel about dialing in this hook line on your initial
Right.
conversation
That's
and just
great.
getting really good at that
Right.
this week and just making sure on every connection you're hitting it to a T, and let's see if your booked percentage goes up. I have a feeling it's going to go up.
I agree. I agree for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And then next week, let's see where it's at. Let's see how the hot button goes. Let's see if we're able to get into the pain, and then we just build on it. Because I love what you're doing. Once you get to the showing, you went 4 for 4 on the office visit. You got to 3 presentations. We could talk about that. It's just low volume, and so far 2 have closed, potentially 3. So
Right.
that's pretty
Right.
good. That's
Right.
good. So for you, we're looking at the very top. So, what do you think about that for a play this week?
I love it. Yeah. Thanks. I agree because you're right. It's you're trying to get their attention, but then you feel like you have to say a lot, like to spill out all of these possibilities to see if one of them makes them go, "Oh, really?" You're right. But if you come with something that basically everybody could benefit from, that one hook, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and it's your ideal client, right? Like
Right.
you, and I don't doesn't I feel like it doesn't matter who you are. That's intriguing. You know what I mean? And
Sure.
even if it's not
Right.
an initial service that I'm looking for, I would be like, Bruce, that's cool, man. Tell like what else?
Yeah.
Like what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing insurance,
Right.
and then you can ask them, boom, cool. Tell me about your position. What are you doing? Da, da, da. And now you're in your discovery. And I
Right.
I think one thing I think you're gonna find, Bruce, with this is that, and just because we speak with a lot of insurance agents, I think you're going to be able to go straight into a discovery.
Mm.
But let's just start with this and let's
Yeah.
see how it goes.
Okay.
And cool. So the what is you're going to just massage this
Right.
hook.
Right.
I think we got it pretty solid,
Right.
and you're going to do that by on all your connects. You're going to open with,
Hmm.
"Hey, this is Bruce.
Hmm.
I just got off the phone. I had to call you. How are you?" Boom,
Mm.
and then go into
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
What do you
I
think
like. I
for the
like it.
how?
I like it.
Cool. And my the last one is, so we have the what, the how, and then the when is going to be, when are you going to start doing that by?
You mean the hook?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Okay. Cool. I love it, man. Awesome.
Yeah. I just
Now,
like you
can I,
said. I gotta sit down and kind of jot a few down and then say it a couple times and what comes out naturally and then there it is. Then we'll have it. So
Bruce, on your phone, do you have audio recordings?
Yes.
audio record, playback, audio
Yeah.
record, playback,
Yeah.
audio record, playback, audio record, play.
Yeah.
Like it's to me, like even if I'm working with my sales team, I have them audio record and listen to themselves
Yeah. Ooh.
because there's yeah.
Ooh.
So listen to yourself, and you're gonna keep
Sure.
massaging it and massaging it. Okay,
All right.
real quick before we end this, because I think we got a powerful play.
Okay.
Volume. So, because we're gonna meet again next week, right? I think we
Right.
have.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about your volume. How many outreaches total do you want to make between now and next Thursday?
I want to, ratchet it up. So if I've only been about 40, 50, say 70, 70, 75. I got to, work my way up. And again, I, there's a lot I'm still doing training wise and stuff too. So, that takes away some time, but still
All
I
right.
can definitely ratchet up to 75.
Okay, so it's 5 days. So what is that? 15 a day?
15,
70?
15. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So 15. I like that. And then we're gonna open every call that we get to connect with
Yeah.
with the hook.
It's the hook. I like it.
I love it. Okay, cool. Bruce, hey man, thank you so much for being on the show. I really
Rich,
appreciate having you.
Richie, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely. So Bruce is absolutely awesome. This is one of a 4-part series where we're going to work with Bruce. So thank you all for joining in. You can watch Bruce up his game every single week. And in 4 weeks from now, I want to look at all of these numbers. And I think they're really good on the back end, but I want to watch the front end numbers really creep up, which is going to also help you obviously close more on the back end. And when you have more volume, it's going to change your back end numbers too. We'll have a little bit more of a clearer picture. So, Bruce, thank you so much for being on the show, and I'll see you next week.
Richie, thanks again. I'll see you then. Thanks.
Cool, man.